Hello. Today we will make a video on how to make a kitchen knife. To be more precise, how to make dark blades knives. The cook is made from 2 or 2.3 millimeter thick steel, 5 centimeter stock, plenty of room to, the height of the blade. What I do is from 2 or 2.3 millimeters, depends on the stock that I get. I grind the bevels or the sides of the knife completely flat all the way to the almost to the zero, which results in extremely thin knife that cuts like a razor. So let's go. First things first, knife will be quite universal, so we will make a, let's say, 19 centimeter long blade, allowing for a little bit of the curve, and then come in for the tang. The tang, of course, is a hidden tang. This is irrelevant because at this point, I want enough steel inside the handle so the bond with the wooden part is strong enough and will not, come loose or anything. I already know the shape of my blades, so it will be something like this. I just love this drop point on all my blades and also on the kitchen ones. So here we go. We have one. We will use the hacksaw to cut it, shape it on the on the grinder, and then I will use this one as a template for the others. So let's go. So nice because it's so thin, it goes through very easily. This one now will be a little bit, I'm not sure if I will be able, yeah, okay, it will work. I will cut this piece out for a simple reason of if I grind it off, it means a lot of how do you call it, a lot of all this will be turned to dust, so it will be all over the shop. Even though I have my my bucket with water, regardless it will not be cool. Now not sure, you probably don't see it, but yeah, the device is as it is. Now here it will move a lot, so I'm not sure if I'm able to do it without bending the knife, because you can see here how it bends due to this stuff which I put here. Well, it would be anywhere, but anyway, but it is thin steel, so I'm pretty sure I can straighten it later. as I said, I don't want this to be this is also didn't bend, spring back to, so now grinding. Here we are. This is our shape and this is our mark. So you can see this is always just a guideline, and then as I grind, as I'm getting the feel, then I'm really, you know, finding the right form. Here I just make a small mark where the cut will go, and I want to keep this a little bit bigger so I can hold the knife easier when I grind the bevels. I use an old 60 grit belt, already worn out for the shaping, because this grinding at the 90 degrees angle will really wear your belts down, so I keep this for that. It takes me a little bit longer, but you know, with these belts costing as they cost, it is worth an extra work to save some money. That's it. Wanted to give you a comparison how much I wear it down from new to completely finished. So I used my template to mark 3 more, and I have one already heat treated, a little bit different shape. This one I need to thin down, but I will bring this 4 to the same level, and then I will just work on them simultaneously. All 4 done. I mean, profiling. I knocked off the edge, and now I will bevel. The thickness here in the middle, it will stay like this because the length is such, and the thickness is so low, and also width is such that if I grind it too much, it will definitely bend when heat treating, no matter how much I take care. So now I will knock off the bevels, not too much, just so I have minimum amount of grinding to do after I heat treat, because then the blade will be very thick, hard. So you can see maybe here on this one, but here I already took off some of the material. Let's go. And now a lot of grinding. Mask. And we go. Here they are. You will notice a lot of these scratch marks over here, different size, different grinds, but with all of them, what is important is that each side is roughly the same. So if this one is ground all the way up here, it's important it's also this one. Important some people might tell you it's not, but if the blade is not at this stage equally grind on both sides, the tendency for it to bend is much bigger. So try to make it here equal. All this will be cleaned up. Probably this ricasso or this bevel line will go all the way back here, so nothing of this will remain after we are done. So now I'm thinking either one or two of those will get Hamon, as this one already has, just to add a little bit of visual touch to them. But first what we will do is knock off these edges. These edges are also potential issue for the breakage. As I always say, doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just knock off all these edges. Let me briefly draw it up for you. So if we have a profile like this, tendency that it will crack here, so it goes, let's say, like that. Tendency to crack here is much bigger than if the profile it's like that. So that's the simple, I don't know, physics, mechanics, whatever. That's why I'm doing that. And it's not a theory, actually. It is, you know, the practical part. It is the practical part where I really see that chance of bend or of cracking is minimized. Now what I also do at this stage is just check if the blade is straight, because at this point I took already quite some material, and potentially while I was grinding the knife bends, and if I heat treated it bent, then you can imagine I need to straighten it, which is not fun. Done. Here we are. Just so you see, nothing really fancy. Just rounding the edge a little bit, and that will potentially help you save some blades from cracking during the heat treatment. There is a separate video on Hamon where unfortunately Hamon failed in a way. I'm explaining in that video more about that, but here I'm just showing you a different version where I'm hoping this time it will be better. And what I will do, what I will try to make it better, is to make the layer of clay, this mix, thinner. And we will see what happens. I always struggle a little bit with the, you know, camera angle, and you know, whether you are seeing what I'm doing or not. While watching at the camera, also trying to make sure I don't mess up the knife or the the current operation with the knife, so a lot of things going on which I'm not used to. What I usually then do is use this smaller one for let's say nicer work. Also with Hamon, it's quite important that both sides are at least roughly the same in thickness and the height. Otherwise, well, the results can be weird. So we'll just add some teeth. I hope you can see that. Camera goes off and then I have no way of seeing what's going on. So here we are. That's it. I'm now trying to match the position also on the other side. First I will do like a marking. I cannot show you this in another way, sorry about that, but I will show you later what I did. So you can see I just marked, so if this one is here, here it's on the roughly same position. I just like the results a bit better. It looks like the blade is not cooled on the same, or let's say on the same position. The work of the coolant, in this case oil, and the insulator, which is of course clay, works in the same position. So the result is a bit more symmetrical, let's say. So I think we are more or less spot on. Need to bring this part down a little bit that way. So that's it. First one done. And I will just do one more and I will keep 2 knives normal, 3 with the Hamon, which I think it's more than enough. Again, putting clay on, spreading it evenly, trying not to go too low on the towards the edge. I mean towards too low towards the edge with the main part of the clay. By main meaning this big one, and then with the spikes we will go quite a long way. Just one side more and we are done. As I put a relatively thin layer of clay, I believe it will dry fast enough to heat treat tonight. If not, it will be tomorrow. Well, I'm in no rush. So. That's the beauty of the, making knives for a hobby, is there is no rush. There is no, I don't know, sales dependency or customer waiting or anything. You just make it when you feel like it, and yeah. So again, finding the same position and drawing it down. And with this, we will see now, I will see some of the things that have been bothering me for some time now about Hamon, you know, and maybe how to be more exact in making things and fully understanding what's going on. So here it is. Roughly symmetrical. Then on the other side, as I always say, this is not a knife coming from the CNC machine. It's the handmade tool where we are expecting things to be, you know, not perfect, which adds to the uniqueness of the tool. The close-up. So maybe from this side you can see how thin it is. I used to do it much thicker, and there certain inconsistencies started to show up here. Maybe you can see in this part already it shows, and also, oh, here you can see it much better. Here you can see it much better, how nice this turned out. I think this one will be really cool.